Multiple Milwaukee Brewers updates have dropped ahead of tonight's game against the Cincinnati Reds, as we have a very big update regarding Brandon Woodruff. What the plan is for him heading into this postseason with him being on the IL. We also have an update regarding Jackson Chourio and a record that he broke, as well as what the biggest issue is for this Milwaukee Brewers team heading into the next couple of games and then into the ALDS. We're going to be breaking it all down here in this video, though, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do, I ask you one favor, and that's to hit the sub button if you haven't already. I'm going to keep you guys updated with all of your Milwaukee Brewers news as we get into the postseason. We're going to have a lot of stuff dropping as we do have the bye, and with all those updates comes a lot of news. You won't want to miss it. We're going to have it all right here, but we need to jump straight into this because I first want to touch on the game, which did happen yesterday against the Cincinnati Reds. The availability, the option that the Brewers could have gotten the number 1 seed home field advantage, but ultimately lost the game, which revealed one big issue the Milwaukee Brewers are going to be facing over the next couple of games, then heading into the NLDS, which is going to be a major part of what's going to be happening. So going into this, first of all, a 3-1 loss, which is something that, of course, we haven't seen too much from the Brewers as of late. This team is not normally a team that'll go ahead and get a short amount of runs, but this was one of Quinn Priester's only starts, I think the past 16 it was, where he did get the loss. It was a good run, but obviously that doesn't mean anything. He is not slowing down, and when you see the box score, of course, 3 runs, that is still a pretty good outing from him. Definitely wasn't on him as well. Defense was not great in this game. This team really didn't look like they wanted to go out and win this game. But this Brewers team with 1 run, 3 hits, is not the Brewers team that we have been really seeing over the past couple of months. And at this point now, when you need to win, we're clinched and everything like that, but you want the home field advantage, you want to get everything in your favor, you need to go ahead and win these games and also get on the right foot heading into the NLDS. And at this point right now and where we currently stand, this is something that the Brewers need to get changed up very, very quick. And ideally, you would like to do it before the bye starts and get that offense back rolling. Now, going into this game today as well, we have another opportunity to do it. Robert Gasser coming in and pitching this game on the projections, and at this point right now is what the plan is, but they're going to have a tough challenge today, and going up against Abbott, pretty good pitcher, hate to say it, but at this point right now, we need the offense to get clicking once again, and this is the game to do it. Go off against a good pitcher, really get back on your feet before you get into the postseason and your bye, and then go off on a good foot from there. But going into this game as well, there's been lots of questions surrounding, the Brewers, what's going to be happening on their pitching side of things heading into the NLDS, which we spoke about in a previous video, and going into as well, where this Brewers team is really going to kind of put their direction of pitching, and also, is the hitting going to come back? And as we do go into the last 2 weeks with this Brewers team, they have not been putting up very many runs. And I mean, you go through here with a few other anomalies going through here, but when the Angels, you get the 9-2 victories back to back, but ever since then it's been pretty well below 4 runs, and with one exception being the Brewers against the Padres in the first game, where they did win or lose 5-4. But apart from that, with this team being 5-5 in the last 10, the bats have not been swinging, which is causing quite a few people to panic. But I'm saying right now, no need to yet. Of course, as we go through here, this team has a big focus on the NLDS. And yes, you do want to clinch, you do want to get your home field advantage. But right now, the pitching is still staying pretty solid in these games, apart from a few here and there. But once we get into the NLDS, this team's mindset is back to what it was, and we know this. Pat Murphy's spoken out about it. He's talked about this team being a playoff team, a playoff-ready team, and that's what we have to anticipate. And with this game against the Reds here today and tomorrow, they still have 2 opportunities to do it, and they can also do it here with a loss from the Phillies or a win against the Reds. So we're still in very good shape here, and with this bye, that is a great opportunity heading into all of this, fuss, I guess we could say, over the last few days with this Brewers team trying to get back under their feet. But I'm here to say, believe me, they will. We know they will, and this team has shown that a game like this doesn't matter what will happen either today or tomorrow. They take it game by game. They know what kind of team they are. Now, as I did mention, along with the hitting, along with the order, we have a lot of stuff going on with the rotation right now, and we do have an update on Brandon Woodruff coming out from Matt Arnold, coming out about what the plan is for him, where he currently stands, and the update, as not much as we would like it to be revealing, it does still tell quite a bit about what the plan is for the Brewers. They say, no new information yet on the Brandon Woodruff front after visiting a shoulder surgeon in Dallas. Still up in the air at this moment, GM Matt Arnold said, and Adam McCalley said there's no rush. The NLDS rosters aren't due until the morning of Game 1. So this tells us right now that this team is not rushing their decision on what's going to happen with the rotation. Of course, we do have 2 games left. We saw Quinn Priester last night. Going to see a few other kind of changes here throughout the rotation in the bullpen over the coming days and games now at this point. And we're going to see where things really do translate and how things work out. But with a lot of rest coming on this bye, it's going to be a very good step forward for not just Brandon Woodruff, but also Jose Quintana, Logan Henderson, if he does end up returning here in this. But as we look at the rotation right now and what the odds really are, there are a few pitchers. Of course, Freddy Peralta, Quentin Priester, likely the 1 and 2 option, like I said in yesterday's video. And if you do want to go and kind of get a full update regarding the pitchers on what the idea and kind of the mindset behind this Brewers team heading into their decision of who's going to be in there for the NLDS, be sure to go check out yesterday's video. But well, with a lot of other names here, along with the starting rotation, there are some pitchers here who will be in a bit of a kind of a battle to get into that 3 spot. And I think that right now we're already looking at that. We're already seeing who could it be. Could it be Robert Gasser? Could it be Chad Patrick? Could it be Jacob Mizorowski? Someone that we saw Pat Murphy say, I don't think you can confidently say right now that he will be the Game 3 starter, but he didn't deny it. So I think that's a lot of questions kind of being answered over the coming days. And when we're going to see a lot of stuff coming out from the NLDS and when with wild cards going on, we're going to be seeing, first of all, who we're playing, of course. I think that's still a very big thing, which will decide what the rotation is going to look like. But it also is going to have a big impact on how this team goes about, just choosing the NLDS roster as well. We see a lot of, what we have right now, likely going to be the same, but there still may be a change. I think Pat Murphy is really not afraid to make that. So let me know what you think about this update from Brandon Woodruff as well. Not too much being revealed, but I think at this point right now and where we stand, that is a pretty significant update from what we've had before. But I do have a few more updates before we do finish this video off here. And the Brewers, as I mentioned, can clinch the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the postseason today with a win against Cincinnati or a loss by the Phillies, against Minnesota. So 2 very good options here, and I think if we do have this bounce back like we're all hoping for and the offense gets going, it could very well be done and over with tonight by the Brewers themselves without having to rely on the Phillies. The Phillies do start an hour before this Brewers game, so we may know mid-game what the idea may be if we clinch or not, and it could go about the decision of resting players for tomorrow's game or even in the later half of the game. But going on as well, one more update. Very big congratulations to Jackson Chourio, who did another 2020 season and back-to-back. He is the youngest player in the MLB to do so. So this is a very big congratulations to him. Of course, missing a little bit of time there, about a month with an injury, and still managing to do this. This is a very good sign going forward. And one thing that I think we want to see from him, and a 2020 year, absolutely fantastic. But as of late and as returning from his injury, the bat hasn't been going that much. But we want to see it get back. We want to have him get back to kind of where we did see him before. And going back to the last 30 games, 275, and you look at the last 7 and even 15, a 219 average and a 133 average. I think he's ready to go. I think there's no doubt about that. When we get to the NLDS, he's going to be a big player to keep an eye on, and I think that he's really going to get back to his feet, and we see this team really be all about that over these past couple of games. So let me know what you think about all the news that we have here today, but that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well, and remember, I'm keeping you up to date with all of your Brewers news here on the channel, so be sure to hit the sub button if you won't want to miss it. Heading in to the wild card break for us with the buy-in, including the NLDS, but that's all I got here in this one. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.